Hey everyone, welcome back to yet another video. Today we are doing Week 8 NFL predictions. Last week, I actually went a really respectable 10-5, better than a lot of weeks that I've had so far. A lot of the times that I got wrong was in the primetime slots. I got both Monday night ones, but 3 of the 5 was in the primetime slots. So, at least my Sunday record was pretty good overall. Anyways, this week we're going to start off with the Minnesota Vikings going up against the Los Angeles Chargers. The Vikings ended up losing 28-22 against the Eagles this past game, where the Eagles actually was able to play all 4 quarters. So I cannot say too much on the Vikings quite yet. However, Wentz did throw a couple of interceptions. The Vikings offense generally just has not been that good so far. They're going up against the Chargers, who 38-24 against the Colts isn't too bad. However, at the same time, the previous games before, the Chargers have not really played that well. It's a little bit of a toss-up, and I'm going to go ahead and say the Vikings win, as they've at least been able to win against a team not named the Dolphins in the past few weeks. But the Chargers got to pick it up, man. And the only win being against the Dolphins, and only 2 points of that is kind of worrisome. Especially when the week prior you had 27-10 loss against the Commanders. So I'm going to go with the Vikings here. And we'll see what happens from there. Next up, we have the Miami Dolphins going up against the Atlanta Falcons. The Dolphins. Do we even have to say anything at this point? Because they are an absolute train wreck. As they lost by 25 to the Browns. How can I just trust them to do anything? But they're going up against the Falcons, who did end up losing this past week kind of badly. At least it wasn't like blowout 20-10, but at the same time, that's really just not good. I'm going to. This one is just an obvious pick, honestly. The Dolphins are that much of a train wreck to where any team can just win against them. So I'm going to pick the Falcons, and we'll see what goes on from there. Next up, we have the New York Jets going up against the Cincinnati Bengals. The Jets. Yeah, they lost 13-6 against the Panthers. Bryce Young got injured in the middle of it, which I didn't know about the injury when I filmed the Tuesday one. I probably just wasn't paying attention to that injury. And then the Bengals, nice solid win against the Steelers. And I just don't think the Jets really. There's a chance the Bengals do end up having a little bit of a drop in production this week after doing pretty well last week. However, I am still going to pick the Bengals, even with that lower performance against the Jets. Next up, we have the New England Patriots going up against the Cleveland Browns. The Browns, solid win against the Dolphins. We'll see how they can do outside of that, because they generally have not really been too great outside of the Dolphins throughout these past few weeks. The Patriots, nice 31-13 win against the Titans. And the Titans is one of those teams where a lot of teams can just win against as well. What I'm thinking with this game is that it's probably going to be a close one. So probably pick the Browns against the spread, but I'm going to go with the Patriots to win the game. Drake May has just been playing better than Dillon Gabriel so far. Just the Patriots in general will continue to add on to their winning streak as the Patriots go to 6-2. Next up, we have the New York Giants against the Philadelphia Eagles. Didn't we just have this one? Yes, we did, because 2 weeks ago we had this matchup at New York. Now the Eagles are at home. What did I say about the Giants here? They just lost, allowing 33 points to the Broncos this past week. How? I'm still wondering how. The Eagles, they ended up winning 28-22 against the Vikings, and honestly, I think it is going to be the Eagles this time. Maybe there is a little bit of the Eagles know how the Giants will play this time, and they'll actually prepare that way. And I don't really have too much else. The Giants are just a better team right now, but their defense could blow the game anyways, so I'm just going to say the Eagles. Next up, we have the Buffalo Bills going up against the Carolina Panthers. The Bills. Yeah, they're still on the losing streak, but they were on a bye, so we'll see if that changes anything. The last time we saw them, they ended up losing to the Falcons in a game that they just did not have any defense. They're going up against the Panthers, who won against the Jets, but also got injured in that. I think this is the get-right game for the Bills to end up getting their win. And I don't know what to say with the Panthers at this point. They will probably start Andy Dalton. Next up, we have the Bears against the Baltimore Ravens. The Bears, they got another win, 26-14 against the Saints. And the Ravens, even without Lamar Jackson, lost 17-3 the last time we saw them. Now, what to say with this game? This one is one of those trickier ones due to the fact of, is Lamar playing? Is Lamar not playing? When I made this prediction, yes, you know what? I have not looked at it in a while, so let me go ahead and look just to make sure. Lamar Jackson practices again Thursday. Practices again ahead of potential return. Let's go into one of these website articles just to see, because he could end up playing. But honestly, my pick really comes down to if Lamar Jackson actually does play or not. That's generally how it's going to be. I would still say the Bears go against the spread. However, depending on if Lamar Jackson plays, that changes it for the game winner side of things, because Lamar Jackson actually boosts up that offense so much. But it seems like Lamar is practicing, and maybe that's a sign that Lamar does end up playing this week. You know what? It'll obviously change if he does play, but I'm going to say that maybe he rests another week in preparation in case he's not fully there yet, and say that the Bears win. That's essentially my reasoning at this point, because if Lamar does not play, it's an obvious Bears win. If Lamar does play, I'll probably switch to the Ravens in a sense. However, the defense does. You know what? I'm going to go with the Bears anyways, because Lamar, if he does play this week, he might not be 100%, considering he's only first practicing this week and didn't even practice throughout the Monday or Tuesday part. So I'm going to say that if he does play this week, he's not going to be 100%, and the Bears end up winning this week. Next up, we have San Francisco 49ers going up against the Houston Texans. The 49ers, they ended up just beating the Falcons, man. And after the Falcons got me hope, the 49ers clutch those hopes for the Falcons. Yeah, they played some good defense. They're going up against the Houston Texans team that is essentially all defense. The 49ers at least has some offense, so I am going to pick them because the Texans, the only 2 wins came against the Titans and the Lamar Jackson West Ravens. So, deal with that as you please. 49ers win. Next up, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going up against the New Orleans Saints. The Buccaneers, yeah, they laid an egg against Detroit this past week, 24-9. The Saints ended up losing 26-14 against the Bears, where I think this game is going to be a little bit closer. It is a divisional game to where who knows what's going to happen. I am going to go with the Bucs. I do expect it to be a little bit closer, like a field goal maybe. But at the end of the day, the Buccaneers, I think, end up winning since the offense will probably come back a bit. Next up, oh man, this is a game where you just don't know what's going to happen. In Dallas Cowboys, it's going up against Denver. And Dallas won against Commanders 44-22. That's not the part where it's like, who knows what's going to happen. The Broncos. Do I even have to say anything else about this team? Of what they did last week? 33 points in the fourth quarter. That's really all that's needed to be explanation. They cannot do that against the Cowboys. They could get away with it with the Giants, but they cannot do that against the Cowboys. And their offense, I generally have just not seen anything good recently with the Broncos. I'm going to go with the Cowboys here. Next up, we have the Tennessee Titans going up against the Indianapolis Colts. The Titans ended up losing 31-13 against the Patriots. Meanwhile, the Colts ended up winning 38-24 against the Chargers. I think this is where a lot of people know what's just going to happen. Obviously, this is going to happen. The Colts are just that much better of a team. I personally even have them against a spread of like 14.5. That's how bad the Titans is compared to the Colts. But yeah, there's really not much explanation to do here. Next up, we have the Green Bay Packers going up against the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Aaron Rodgers revenge game. The Packers, they ended up having a win. Close one. 27-23 against the Cardinals. Like I expected with any Cardinals game. But they did almost lose that one. The Cardinals almost had like a game-winning drive. The Steelers, they lost a close one to the Bengals, 31-33. Divisional games can be a little bit wild. And I just think the Steelers are that much better of a team, actually. The questions that I've been having with the Packers just keep coming up ever since their win against the Commanders. They lost to the Browns. They tied the Cowboys. They barely won against the Cardinals within 3 of their last 4 games. So, what am I supposed to expect at this point? And the Steelers, they'll probably end up winning somehow, some way. So, Steelers win. And finally, we have the Washington Commanders going up against the Kansas City Chiefs. The Commanders, this is honestly not that great of a Monday night matchup as we would have expected preseason, because Jaden Daniels is injured for the Commanders side. The Chiefs just got Rashee Rice back and blew out the Raiders 31-0. So, what am I supposed to say here? I think the Chiefs will win this game, and it's probably not going to be super close. Anyways, that was my picks for this week of the NFL season. If you liked the video, please hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!